Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Truth Podcast. My guest today is John Molyneux, and he spent a couple of years in the British Army. Once he left, he spent years finding his callings, worked in security and driving jobs, and eventually, by accident, fell into sales and martial arts and never looked back. Welcome to the show, John.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, Jim. Thanks.
Oh, I'm glad to have you. We're having a little technical difficulties today, and we're hoping that we can get through this. And I really appreciate you being patient and stuff today. I appreciate that.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. I always like to speak on shows. It's good.
Lots of fun. Okay, so my first question to you is, what lit the fire for you to become an entrepreneur rather than everything else that you had been doing?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I think when I was left in the military at first, I was kind of a bit lost and sort of flitting from job to job. I did the sort of like what a lot of ex-military do, like security work and the driving and stuff like. You kind of fall into these sort of industries. But I just sort of, luckily, I just kind of fell into this by studying karate to be a karate instructor. But what was tied in with that was actually going around knocking doors and signing people up to the karate classes. So I got the sort of experience with the sales tied into the martial arts, and it kind of set me on the track, on the path.
That's cool. Oh, that's really, really cool. Was there any, like, on your journey as you've been going on this entrepreneurial endeavor, has there been anything that's been like a roadblock to you, either internal or external, that you can speak about today?
Yeah, I mean, just probably a mixture of like difficulties, whether it be financial or just other hurdles that you might find yourself, but also sort of your own doubts, like your own self-doubts that you have to overcome, and sort of like realizing that you are worth more than you think, and sort of pushing yourself that bit more.
That actually pops up a lot. We call it the imposter syndrome here, where you feel like, you know, if they ever find out that I don't really know what the heck, you know, I'm talking about or something like that, you know, everything would just die in my business or something. But it is a feeling of you're not the person that you feel like you're portraying sometimes. And
like,
yeah,
Wayne's World, you're not worthy and all that.
Wayne's World. Man, I love that show. I know, it was good. So right now, you're into karate, you're teaching classes. Do you have stuff online yet or no?
No, I don't actually do that anymore. That was what I did to get me into what I do. I had to throw the towel in with that because it just wasn't any money at all. It wasn't, even though I was passionate and enjoying what I was doing, the actual public classes and trying to do it for a career, it just was not happening. I mean, maybe the founders of the club, the actual top guys, they might make some decent money out of it, but the instructors that were underneath them, it wasn't feasible. I wasn't getting by. It wasn't putting bread on the table, if you want to put it that way.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And we go through a lot of failures and different things in our life to get us on the path that we're meant to go on. It's funny because they say the entrepreneurial path is definitely not straight shot. It's kind of like a winding road. You know what I mean? And ups and downs and all that stuff. So what's the next part of your journey then? What was the next part we had where you were teaching karate and doing that type of thing? What did that transform into?
Well, I mean, I got as far as I was happy to get with it. I managed to get my black belt in the end after about 5 years of training. I was a sensei and I was teaching the classes. So I got as far as I thought I could probably get with that journey. I wanted to stick at it to get the black belt, but I knew that it wasn't going to go any further than that because I couldn't make a living from it. So now it's just a hobby of mine, and I still use it as part of my brand, if you want to put it that way. So I'm the sales samurai, and I just tie it into what I'm doing with. Yeah, I just tie it into what I'm doing in the business side of things. I still like to do it as a hobby, but it's just finding the time really. But what it has done is set me up for what I'm doing now, which is I do door-to-door sales still, but I sell windows and doors now. And I also do phone sales as well. So I've been studying closing and stuff like that for high ticket packages for quite some time. So I tend to do pretty much anything to do with sales, from following up prospecting. Now I'm branching out into the training side of things as well. So I'm just in the process of making my first course. So that'll be everything from prospecting through to follow-ups, rapport building, closing the deals, and all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's fun. So you're having a course coming out about it. That is cool. That is so cool.
I'm just in the initial stages of it now. So the next few days I'll do the first part. It's probably going to be about built up. I'll do an introduction section and then 4 or 5 individual parts of it, and then hopefully it should be done in the next few weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, hopefully.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good. And then you're gonna have to tell us all when that comes out later too, so we can take a look. When you are in sales, though, what would be one of the things that you would like give advice to on somebody who's just starting out and they're like, oh my God, I'm not a salesperson. This is slimy. I feel like a used car salesman, something like that. What would you tell those people?
I tell those people that it's not, you're not slimy or sleazy, and people need to sort of, it's a new age of sales, isn't it? And do I look like a slimy sleazeball? It's about your personality, isn't it? You let that shine through. You are the kind of salesperson that you want to be. You don't have to be in some sleazy image or some, like you say, some car salesman or the stereotypical salesperson. What you need to do in this day and age is build relationships with people and be genuinely wanting to help these people with whatever they are looking for in their life. With what you can provide, regardless of what the product is, you really have to have a genuine concern to help them.
That's true. That's true. And if you have it, it comes from a pure heart and a genuine wanting to match up something with something they need. That's not salesy. I think we get such a bad connotation when we hear the word sales. Do you agree? Or
we do. I mean, the thing is as well is everybody's not going to be your perfect fit, and it doesn't matter. You just let them go. You don't have to seal every single deal, do you? If anything, it's quite the opposite. It's a numbers game. I mean, I can knock on doors and I might get, out of say 20 doors, I might only get 1 appointment or 2 appointments, but it's those ones that matter, isn't it? So yes. People get hung up about the rejection side. The beginners, the biggest thing I could say for a beginner in sales is do not take rejection personally, because you are going to get, if you're on the telephones, you are going to get people hang up. If you knock on people's doors, you are going to get the door shut in your face. You are going to get these rejections, but it's part of sales, and you have to get a bit of a thick skin and just suck it up.
Yeah, you do, because it can get very difficult on the inside if you start taking that personally. Like, yeah, I know, and you'll get people that'll be really kind of rude and angry and mean at you too. Don't you get that? I mean, I got that before, but that's what I was just asking.
Absolutely. I think it was Zig Ziglar I was listening to the other week, actually. He's brilliant. I love a lot of the American greats in sales. I follow a lot of them. I think you guys have got it. And anyway, Zig was talking about how it kind of like the shit rolls down effect, isn't it? So yes. The boss has had a bad day and he blames it on the secretary, and then the secretary blames it on so you don't know what's happening in this person's day. They might answer the phone to you, or they might open the door to you, and they've just had a roasting off their boss, or so you don't know what's happening. So they're just taking it out on you, not intentionally. They just might be having a bad day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They may have had something happen in their day that you have no idea about. You're just the person that's there, and right now you're the one they're going to take it out on.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it does happen. But I'm quite good at just turning it around back on them with humor. If you can get to grips with using humor, that works really well.
Yeah, it does. It does. How would you go about that though? I mean, for me, I kind of naturally have a quick wit like that or something, but I don't know. It's difficult when someone's out there just to rip on you, to change it into comedy, because I don't know, for me, I do take it personal sometimes. I guess inside I might get a little angry about it. That's me, I guess, maybe not you, but so how do you turn that inside feeling?
Let's just do a role play, right? And you're going to be, I'm going to knock on your door to try and sell you windows and doors, but you've only just had them done a few years ago, so you're not going to do it, all right? So let's go for that. Okay. Knock, knock.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, hi, I'm John from Safe Style UK Windows and Doors.
I'm not interested right now. We just had these things done a little while ago, man. I'm sorry, dude.
Well, that's all right. What about conservatory? You look like a conservatory kind of guy to me.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, would you like a quote for a conservatory instead then?
No. I want to
Oh, are you
go.
kidding me? You need a new porch. Let's have a look at a porch for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
you're getting
easy.
at it though. No, that's good though. That's really, really good because I'm I
You were
don't know. We get
considering it
these
then, weren't you?
calls all the time, and people get these things all the time in inboxing and this and that. And after a while, you just get annoyed with it, you know.
Yeah, you do. Well,
So
I would say if anybody's using social media to reach out to people, please don't spam them or pitch them straight away. Especially on places like LinkedIn and stuff like that, because you're not gonna get anywhere. You need to build relationships first. You need to reach out with a warm message. I quite like to use voicemails on LinkedIn. That's a really good little feature they have. Just send somebody a nice, oh, I see that you're in business. I'd like to connect and find out more about you, or I'm interested. You're doing some really good content. I like your videos. Just something like that, just to break the ice, rather than spam, or
yeah,
pitch,
write your
pitch,
sales
pitch.
message to them or something
Yeah.
like that first thing. I get that. So there's so many different aspects of sales, and one is rapport, like you're talking about, but another is to close the sale.
Yes.
And I think that is what a lot of us have a really hard time with. We're trying to overcome objections, and it's like, well, I don't want to. I don't think that's too expensive, or I don't want to pay that, and I'm not interested in this or that. And then you're like, okay, bye. Unless you're properly trained,
Yeah, well, I mean, if somebody, so let's do that scenario. So you say it's too expensive or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are going to look into doing this eventually, aren't you? Because you are going to want to do this X products in the future, aren't you? It is something you're going to need eventually, isn't it?
Yeah.
So why would you put it off and not start to invest in it today? We have buy now, pay later offers. We can offer credit deals, whatever it is that you require to get you involved happily.
There you go. So how do you close that? Is that your closing, or is that just to overcome
that's a sort of test close, isn't it? And then when they warm into you say, right, I can take MasterCard or Visa, or what's the 3 digits in the long number?
Right. There you go. Ask for the sale.
Ask for it. It's one of the best, most effective closes you can do.
Yeah. You're really good at this.
Thanks.
Well, that's why we have you on, because I think there's a lot of people on there that sales is scary to them, and they don't. And I'm not saying everybody. I mean, obviously, there's people that listen that are very good at sales. Maybe we can give them some more expert tips, as we go. But the majority of us, and I guess I'm speaking for me, as I once said that I don't think I could sell ice cubes in hell. But
I like that one. Well, I got told last week that I could sell sand to the Arabs, so
it's really good. So the key so far is basically to build rapport with the person that you want to work with. Do you find that extremely time consuming? Is that really, really a lot of time to put in, because you're trying to build relationships and it's a numbers game? So if you're trying to build relationships, does that take a whole lot of time, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it can do. You have to be quite, I'm quite sort of military anyway, regimented, and I do certain things a certain way. So I might spend an hour of prospecting a day, or the beauty of sales is you have to compartmentalize things, don't you? So you might spend, it depends how you want to do it. You might want to spend 30 minutes prospecting every day, but as long as you've got designated times daily that are going to be, should we say, that are going to help your sales pipeline, as long as you are rigid and stick to these guidelines, like, so you plan your week out, you say, right, Monday to Friday, I'm going to do half an hour prospecting every day.
Right.
Followed by phone calls, followed by follow-ups or whatever, just so you're quite structured in your daily process.
That sounds really good. But yeah, it's not that, from what you're saying, it's really not that time consuming then.
Well, no, I mean, like I say, as long as you stick to a plan, I think it's all about, a lot of entrepreneurs and coaches and have these sort of similar ideas where you plan your days. As long as you've got an idea and you do it, you're quite strict with it, and you say, right, I'm going to do this today, and I'm going to do that today, and I'm going to spend X amount of time making calls, or I'm going to spend an hour in the afternoon following up. I mean, the beauty is when you work for yourself, you can sort of do it your own way, but as long as you are sort of quite strict about doing these things.
We talked about closing. And you talked about asking for the sales, or any other type of closes that you use?
If you study them, there's lots and lots of different. One is sort of I call it mimicking, or I think Tom Hopkins calls it the porcupine. So say you ask me a certain question about a product. So say, for example, we're selling cars and you're looking at a Land Rover, and you ask me, does it come with cream leather interior? And I say, would you like it with cream leather interior?
So they say yes, and then you can...
That's a yes or no answer, isn't it? So as long as you get a yes, that's closer to the sale.
Right.
When you're in the closing stages, the more yeses you get brings you close to a yes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of psychological stuff. If through the sales process you get lots of little yeses, that's leading you to one big yes.
Yeah, and there's your sale.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So I'm going to flip a little bit, and I'm going to go to the beginning part. So how do you pre-qualify your leads?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, like I said, from the prospecting stage, that's when you start to pre-qualify. Well, for starters, what I actually you're trying to do is figure out whether they're a fit for you, or whether they actually want the product that you provide. That's the very first thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's the initial thing you do. Once you find out that they are interested, then you sort of start to dig deeper, find out about what product they're using now, or whether it's going to be the first time they use the product, or what sort of budget they have. So you can start putting feelers out and get a feel for that early on, and then sort of progress towards a close. I think what people need to realize is it's not something you can rush, especially if you're working with sort of high ticket offers or things that are larger investment. You're not going to speak to somebody and close a deal with them in minutes when something's thousands of dollars or thousands of pounds.
Right.
You have to work with these people, build up that know, like, and trust factor, which everybody talks about these days, and it's 100% true. Know, like, and trust. I mean, if you don't have any of them three, you're not getting anywhere. You can probably get away with, if they just like you, you can do it. But know, like, and trust will see a lot of deals or closes or whatever, however you want to call it. So
you have to be patient.
Of course, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because this is most people think it's a one conversation type thing. But I don't think that's
sometimes
true.
It is. I mean, last week I happened to get on a call. It wasn't a cold call. It was one that had been through a system. So she already had an idea of what she wanted. But boom, I managed to secure a $3,500 deal, or $3,500 deal within the space of an hour. Yeah, but other times I've had things that are costing a few $1,000s, but they go for months and months, and you still don't get an answer. Right. So it is that sort of big difference. There is a lot of scope and difference.
Especially if you have to educate the person on the product, Of
course,
if they don't know about it at first.
Yeah, of course. If somebody's been using something for a long time, so say for example, they've got an office with photocopiers and they've been using photocopiers for a long time, and you're just promoting a different brand, they know what to expect, don't they? It's not going to be. But if it's something they've never done before, like a high ticket course program that they've never invested in before, that's going to take a lot more sort of mollycoddling, isn't it? And so,
definitely, because the person has to understand they have to understand it is a need first.
Yeah, you have to overcome that fear of loss, isn't it? Nobody wants to. That is the biggest hurdle with a lot of things, is fear of loss, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but fear of loss. Whew. Yeah. That's a good one. That's really good, because you don't think of it like that. You think they're investing in something, it's exchange, and they're getting something, and you're getting something. So you consider it fair, but you got to consider what that person is feeling and their fears and their, oh my God, I'm putting so much into this. I mean, how much do I have left? And I hadn't thought of it that way. That's really good.
Yeah, the real main objections underneath what a real underneath, I can't afford it or whatever. Those are just barriers or things people put. The real underlying issue is either fear of loss or fear of embarrassment or for making a bad decision.
Or getting ripped
That's what
off
people
type thing.
don't want to do. Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you can prove that that's not going to happen, or it's near enough prove, or build that trust factor that you're there for them and you're going to help them through the process and you're going to be there for them after as a service, that's when you start to have some sort of joy. That's
cool. And I like a lot of what you say. It's you put it in a different way for people to understand it better. I think that's a gift. I really do. I think that also with a salesperson or a person that's not really that accustomed to sales, I think that their attitude has a big difference on the effectiveness of their sales pitch and all that other stuff. And what I'm really getting at is how needy they are or how much they feel like they have to have this sale, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be your biggest downfall or detriment. And I think everybody, when they first start a new sales, you have that sort of mentality, don't you? I'm going into commission sales. I have to sell, whatever, all the time. But once you get over that and you're relaxed and you're confident in your ability, the sales will come regardless. So you don't have to have. People see through hunger, and if you're hungry for every sale, you're going to get none. It's quite simple. You will get none. But if you're relaxed and you're talking to people on their level and helping them with their issues and what's going to help them, that is when you're going to have more success in sales than anybody else.
So that's the clear point. It's the focus. Because you're not focused on them when you feel like you're needy or you're hungry, like you said. You're focused on yourself.
Yeah.
People can sense who you're focused on, them or you.
It's quite ironic, isn't it? When you're thinking about yourself, you ain't going to get anywhere. But when you're genuinely thinking about them, you are going to have much, much more joy with what you're trying to do.
And plus, it feels good helping people. It really does.
It does, yeah, it does. It's a win-win situation, it is.
Yeah. And then that gets you over that sleazy salesperson stuff when you start making some sales and you actually start making friends out of the deal too. As in, the people come back later and like, oh, I really, really appreciate you bringing that to my attention and stuff. I know you've had that. Everybody gets that, I think. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, if you're good at sales and you build this customer base, they're going to come back to you and they're going to trust you. And me personally, I'd find other products from that I'm not even selling. I'd put them onto other people because that's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't just necessarily mean the things that you can actually sell personally. I'd actually put them onto other people and help. Do you know what I mean? Build your circle that way. And that way, if you get a relationship with another salesperson and they've got a really good product, you can pass it back to each other as well. So it just works really well.
Yeah, because then you can help other people that are in sales. Help exactly, that person, then helps you too, and everybody wins out of that situation. And it, and sales does sound scary. It does to new people that don't really understand some of the nuances to it. I think that there's, my opinion, there's steps. I really believe that to getting to that sale, but in the middle of it, in the middle of the whole process, do you find that you actually start really getting to know these people and their needs?
Of course, yeah. Because, like I say, because you've spent that much time building rapport with them, they're like your friend, aren't they? You really genuinely want to help these people, and that's what makes the best salespeople, isn't it? The ones that are genuinely trying to help people, and they want customers for life. They want. If I was selling I was reading something about like sort of kitchenware or something. A really good salesman, he was selling like pots and pans and stuff. And he was saying, I want your children to come to me to buy their pots and pans and your children's children to come to me. I don't just want to keep you happy. I want to keep your friends, family, grandmas, aunts, uncles. I want the whole lot. So
wow. That's powerful. Yeah, that's powerful too, because it's like, he's kind of letting them know I'm going to be here.
Yeah, I'm not going to
make a sale and run off,
I'm still going to have these pots and pans waiting for you in 18 months when you can't use them anymore.
But you're
When you
saying
burn,
though, hey, I'm not just gonna make the sale, put the money in my pocket or whatever, and then say bye. That's it.
well,
So
I don't
he's
understand
actually
that
doing it.
mentality anyway. Why would you think like that? I can't wait
Right.
to get this one sale from you and never deal with you again. It's
That's
just balmy.
crazy.
It
But
is
people do
crazy.
it.
They do.
People do it. And we've had scammers and all these people that have misused their power and different things and trying to get one over on people and stuff. So people are guarded nowadays. They really are.
Yeah.
And it's sad that those people had to go and do that to them and ruin it for everybody else. It's actually has integrity.
It is, and yeah, I think that's probably one of the only downfalls with the internet nowadays. I mean, we can connect with people all over the world like we're doing today, but it also means you get all these horrible criminals that can rip you off as well, doesn't it? But yeah, there is still good people out there, and there is still good salespeople out there. So don't be sort of like, don't give us all a hard time. We're not all bad.
They're not all bad, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you said you're going to have a course that's coming out. What are the main things that you want to teach people that will help them to become better and be more self-confident with their sales?
Well, I cover all angles now. So, I mean, the thing is, different people struggle with different parts of the sales process, because that's what I love about it so much. Is it's an art. It's an art form. It's not just sales. You've got different levels to it. I mean, even psychology. I've started studying a bit of psychology because it's about human behavior and knowing how to handle people with different sort of like personalities and stuff like that. So I just want to dig deep into different sections of it, like I say. So whether it's cold calling on the telephone, some people might struggle with that, whereas other people might be really comfortable with that, but they might struggle following up. But a lot of people don't follow up, and that is another really sort of, you could triple or quadruple your income just by following up correctly and getting referrals from people. So people, sort of like underestimate how powerful that part of the sales is. So yeah, I want to teach people all the angles.
That's good. It's good, because I think we have a lot of people on there. They're on the internet. They have an expertise of some sort, and they want to make a course and everything. And they have big dreams of what they want to be and what they want to do. And they want to replace their income and not work anymore, those type of things, although they're going to work a lot, trust me. But anyway,
Yeah.
But those people have a hard time sometimes when it comes to the sales aspect because they're not used to it.
I think the thing that people need to steer away from, if they are serious about doing something like this, is get your sort of head out of that mentality of, I work for Joe Blogs and I earn X amount a week. That's what you got to get your head out. You got to get that mentality out of your head. And you say, I work for me and I earn whatever I offer, or whatever service I put out, I get that value back. Yep. So if I have 2 or 3 days off, I make nothing. But if I go out there and I'm smashing it every day, I'm making loads.
Right.
That's the mentality you need to get to make it work.
There's such high highs and such low lows, though, with sales. And I think that's another aspect that you could touch on, is the psyche and how tough you have to be. Because there's days it's just like, no. And you're like, what the heck did I do today?
Yeah.
Why is it so bad today?
You just have to write that day off. That happened to me last week, I think it was. It's just a write-off. But people have bad days when they work 9 to 5s as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
The only difference is they're guaranteed that income that day, whereas a salesperson isn't. But I'd say the 9 to 5 guys are having more bad days than I used to hate 3 or 4 days of the week when I did that sort of stuff. But now I don't. I get up on a Monday and it's my new Friday. I'm like, come on, let's have it this week.
Right. Exactly. There's so many good things about working for yourself and things like that. It's just, it can be scary. I'm just, I don't want to keep going back to that over and over again, but because everybody knows, you're taking a leap of faith and you're betting on yourself, which I think is a good thing. I absolutely think it's wonderful that we can go out and all over the world now and be able to make a living doing what we do.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. There's nothing against 9 to 5 if that's what people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got a lot of friends that are doing 9 to 5 and the tradesmen and they're really good at what they do. It just wasn't for me, and I did it for years on and off, and I just chose this path because it suits me. Right? So.
Yeah, I totally agree. It suits me too. I'm just kind of, I don't know whether it's being a rebellious person or whatever. I don't know, but that's what it is. But
Unemployable is the way to describe it.
yeah, exactly. It's difficult for me anyway. Okay. So, um, through this whole journey, the whole, putting it all together, you know, um, what has been like one of your I would say best day or something like that, your biggest accomplishment? I just want to hear what you consider that to be.
That is very difficult to say because I have so many days like that in sales. I like the other week I sold a £12,000. I don't know. Do you have conservatories over there? I don't know if it's a thing.
For what is it?
A conservatory is like a big glass thing that people have attached to the house where they sit. It's very popular.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Older people tend to have.
It's kind of like a sunroom, as they call it here.
Yes,
I think.
Is that something? Yeah, we call them conservatories here.
Well, we might call them here, but I don't know.
They're very popular with older people, and they can range from anything from sort of like £7,000 up into like 30,000-40,000 pounds. So I sold a 12 grand one the other week in a day, and then that's a good feeling. That was a good feeling. I got a half decent commission out of that as well. So
yeah.
I have quite a lot of them days, but you have the rough with the smooth, and some days you have, but it's worth it. It is worth it. To get them days, that is a really good feeling. Especially when you get the happy customers as well.
It all adds up in the end, and I think you feel a sense of accomplishment that, hey, I am doing this. I can do it. And then there's the days that when you get all the no's, it's like, oh my gosh, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. At least I feel that way. Trust
me, there's days when I go out, and I live in England, so there's days here where it's torrential rain, and I mean absolutely hammering down with rain. And I think I'm walking the doors and I'm knocking on it, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing? I should be at home with my feet up. But funnily enough, that is the days when you get the appointments. You do, because people are at home, aren't they? So
you're sympathetic too.
Well, maybe a little bit, but they're in the house.
Right. And they're seeing you all wet, and they're like, oh man, you come on in for a minute,
Yeah, we'll get you a cup of tea on.
Yeah, you should do that more often, I think.
Wait for the rain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but this has been an interesting conversation so far. What is in the future for you? All right, what do you see as yourself maybe 5 years from now?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I'm looking to branch into the speaking world, I think. I mean, I've got my podcast up and running now, so that's a big part of what I'm doing. I'm doing one episode a week of my own, but I do record quite a lot of other episodes for other people as well. So that's taking off quite nicely, but I want to be a speaker eventually as well.
Yeah, being a speaker would be pretty cool. And you seem to have, I think you do. I think you have a lot to offer in that area. I do.
Oh, thanks.
You have a lot of insights into sales that I've heard some things before, of course, but then there's other things that you bring it about in a different way, which I think we all have our own unique style and unique way. And I think that, I think you do good at that.
Yeah, I mean, another beauty of sales is you do put your own personality into it, don't you? It's not, as a salesperson, you use your own skills to sell. So it's my personality that helps me.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like, it just seems like it's you're somebody easy to talk to. And I think that a lot of people that are good salespeople have that I don't know, the personality that it is, very kind of pleasing, and they just like to talk to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. That's why it works so well. I talk to people daily, even if they don't want to buy me windows.
Right. You get that situation where they don't want to buy, but you're on the phone with them for a while. You're talking to them for a while.
I have like 5 or 10 minutes conversation with people that aren't interested in the slightest.
And some of those are some of the most fun conversations too.
Yeah, the beauty of where I live in Cornwall in England, and it's a lot of old retired people. So I get quite a lot of satisfaction from speaking to these old ladies like in the 90s and stuff that don't see people daily. They quite appreciate having a 5-10 minute chat with you. None of them want windows because they've not got long to live. They're like, well, I'm not really interested in buying any new windows. I'm probably only got 12 months left. But it's nice for them. It makes their day, and that's a good feeling.
So you didn't say, don't you want to live the last years of your life looking out really good windows? No, I'm just kidding.
It depends on this. If they're really 90, if they're not in the 90s and they're really frail, I don't bother with that. I just let them be.
That's quite all right. Shows you got a good heart, man. It's funny. I was just making a joke. That's all.
Yeah, it's quite good. If they're in the 70s, they get in it. They get it. If they're in the
so there's a cutoff, right?
Yeah, if they're still in the 70s or the early 80s, maybe, but
maybe. Oh wow. So, wow. That was great. That was some good stuff. So if you had to talk from your heart to the people that were either wanting to take your course or just wanted to learn a little bit more about sales, what would you tell them?
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to achieve with what I'm doing is it doesn't matter whether you're an absolute newbie or whether you're a bit of a seasoned guy or whether you're a business owner that just wants to train his sales team. I want to be able to help people at different levels of the game. I mean, the beauty of what I'm doing is I'm learning every single day as well. But the reason that I think that I've got a lot to give is I think it was Tom Hopkins or someone was talking about it. It might have been Ben Gay the other day saying that a lot of these sales trainers nowadays haven't done sales for 30 years, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it now daily. Right. So my stuff is fresh, and the stuff that I'm teaching is going to be fresh because I'm still doing it. It's like a boxing trainer that still boxes, isn't it? Or over here we call it football. A football manager, or the football manager over here are ex-footballers, isn't it? So it's like a football manager that still plays, isn't it? That's the angle that I
that's true. You know, a lot of people say, who do you listen to and what do you, that type of thing, because there's so much information out there. There's so many people that want to teach and things like that. But you have to you have to learn from the people that are where you want to be.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think you're at, because every day you're finding something new or different nuance or something different that you found just from a conversation even.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having success on a daily basis, whether it's selling on the phone or whether it's selling on the street. So, yeah, I do think I've got something to give, and I hope I can give, especially people that want to break into the sales world, I hope I can give them some sort of motivation and some help and some guidance to sort of get to where they're having some success, hopefully every single day.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good thing, because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do their own thing, and they're creative. A lot of the creative types it's difficult for sales for them. A lot of heart-led entrepreneurs have a hard time with sales because they don't want to be, and we've covered this already, but they just don't want to have this car salesman type scent on them, if you will. But I think they don't understand. And that's why you're so valuable in this space, because they don't understand. They don't know what they don't know is what it really boils down to.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, if I can help these people, that's what I like you said earlier. There's no better feeling than helping people. And like I have a Facebook group that's aimed at a lot of coaches and entrepreneurs, and the coaching industry. A lot of them really know what they're doing, and they know to get the message, and they know how to help people, but they can't sell, and they find it really hard to build up the client base because they've got all these gifts and stuff that they need to share, but they don't know how to get new clients or sell to people. So they have this sort of like this really sort of frustrating situation where they've got all these qualities to gifts to give, but they can't build up the client base, so they can't make the business run smoothly.
Well, that's the issue. I mean, like I said, a lot of them have a hard time getting their stuff out there, even though it's good stuff.
Yeah.
And then it makes them want to quit. It makes them actually go back and do what they used to do before, because I'm just not cut out for this. And there's a lot of that imposter syndrome in those people as well, especially when they start getting no's. They start getting no's, it starts to affect them. And they're like, see, I'm getting evidence now that I can't do it. But what you were saying is no, it's just a part of the day.
It is. It is. It's rejection is just something that I'm immune to now, and I don't let anything make me. I've got like a negativity shield around me. I don't let anything negative in. I'm that positive all the time now, and I just don't let anything penetrate my positivity shield.
That's awesome, because you can't. You can't, because you know, hey, today's a bad day, but tomorrow could be a great day.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. But it's not overstated to say that people need to learn sales because they don't want their dreams to die.
I would suggest anybody, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a coach, whether you're whatever industry you're in, you should have some kind of sales training, without a doubt. Whether it's just like a 2-day course, whether it's something you get on the internet, whatever it is, pay somebody, a sales consultant or a sales coach or whatever it is. I would advise anybody to get some.
I agree, 100%. I totally agree with that. Because if you don't get that, you can create the best course in the entire world. And if you have no idea how the sales process works, you're going to have written all that for nothing. And then you're not going to touch anybody with it either.
No. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Prospecting is key. Get out there and find some people. Speak to people.
Yeah, you got to. This has been a wonderful show. I learned a little bit today.
I'm glad to hear that.
What I try to do every show, I try to learn something new every day.
Brilliant.
So, but I really appreciate you coming on with me. And
it's been a pleasure.
You want to tell everybody anything before you go?
Yeah, I'd love people to, if you are interested in coaching or speaking or anything like that, writing a book. I've got a Facebook group. It's only got 300 members, so it's not overwhelming anybody. The members that are in it are all adding real good value. It's a really good little community. If you are interested in finding out a bit more about that, it's called International Entrepreneurs and Coaching Community. And yeah, I'm happy to have some more members in that. Check out my podcast. It's called The Success Breeds Success Show. It's on Spotify and SoundCloud. We're going to be looking at getting it on iTunes and Google Play in the next few weeks as well. Also, I have got a free offer for people if you're interested. It's called 6 Killer Samurai Closes. And I should give Jim the link for that, unless you've already got it. Have you?
I don't know. I might have it in my email. And if it is, I'm going to put all those links at the bottom of every show. So we're on Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. So
yeah, so basically it's a PDF. It's got 6 different types of closing. The one we've covered a bit of it already today, but it's got some other ones in there as well.
That sounds great. And people, you can pick that up if you just look below. You can pick up all that stuff right in the links below. So you don't have to go anywhere or, anything like that. We made it really easy for you. And we appreciate you, John, today for taking the time to be with us. Hit that like button and all those other wonderful things that YouTube wants me to say.
Subscribe, ring the bell.
Subscribe, ring the bell. You're exhausted. Have some tea.
Yeah. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure from across the pond anyway.
Thank you much for joining us today. And everybody, you have a wonderful day.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Trying to get the